Колеги, доброго ранку.
Good morning, dear colleagues. Today is January 14th, and the Ukrainian Crisis Media Center is starting its work. Our first briefing is devoted to the topic results of 20 months pre-trial investigation and trial in criminal cases on mass riots in Odessa on May 2nd. And we have Sergij Dibrow, a group of May 2nd, journalist and observer of the website Dumskanet, and Vladimir Sarkisyan, toxicologist, independent journalist and expert of the group of May 2nd. Good morning, dear friends. I'm your colleague. I'm journalist of Dumskanet. 20 months ago, jointly with independent experts and with journalists from our group, we have established the May 2nd group in order to initiate independent journalist investigation of the events, came to some conclusion, and later to make them public, because we did not expect to get reliable investigation from the public authorities and law enforcement agencies. As of today, we are ready to present the results of our investigation. As we predicted, law enforcement agencies did not do much to understand what had happened, and also they did nothing to search to find those who are guilty and to punish them. Our official report is posted in internet. I won't discuss it once again, but I would like to emphasize that we have claims towards the Prosecutor General Office of Ukraine, to the law enforcement agencies of Odessa, to the SBU of Ukraine, and to some other law enforcement agencies in Odessa, and because of their improper activity or non-activity, those who could be blamed in those events, which happened on May 2nd, 2014, are not punished till today. Temporary investigation commission of Verkhovna Rada carried out really and careful investigation, but the report of the commission was not approved by Verkhovna Rada because it was dismissed, and early elections were held. Our group the commission of the ombudsman, which also investigated this case, produced its report, and they published it, but nobody paid attention at it. Currently, the group of investigators consists of just two people, and now we observe that the expertise, which was appointed to be held in December, was delayed, and we observe how this case is improperly heard in court, and the prosecutor's office lacks proper evidence to present it, and we expect it to result in nothing. We tried to cooperate with the law enforcement agencies. We provided them with the evidence, with the facts, with the results of some forensic expertise, but this was just one-way communication. We got actually no substantial and meaningful information as feedback. We waste a lot of time to counteract to the irresponsible and wrongful statements of the prosecutor's office. A special committee of ombudsman also pointed out to the violations of human rights in course of investigation. Based on that report, we suggested to transfer this case to the Unit of Special Investigations of the Prosecutor's Office. And this is a special unit which investigates the crimes on Maidan. They have competent people able to carry out objective investigation. We produced our a request to the General Prosecutor's Office requesting to do this, but the Prosecutor's Office does not wish to do this. Of course, in case of submission of those cases to the Court of Human Rights, to the European Court of Human Rights, this case has big chances to be won by the by the applicants, and I think that despite of any reason why the government authorities do not wish to investigate the May 2nd events properly, independently whether this is lack of will, whether this is simply laziness, whether this is the criminal attempt to hide something, we under these conditions we preserve our readiness to act as we believe it is right to act. With this, I would like to give the floor to my colleague. I described what haven't happened and what was not done. My colleague will inform you what we managed to do. Good morning, I am Volodymyr Sarkisyan. I have a qualification as a forensic expert, medical forensic expert, as a toxicologist, and in the group May 2nd, I'm an expert on forensic expertise. My colleague had already mentioned about general attitude of the Ministry of the Interior and some other law enforcement agencies to investigation of this case. Non-activity is not the biggest harm which the law enforcement agencies committed to this case. Besides that sabotage which we mentioned, the law enforcement agencies, either intentionally or non-intentionally, had become the source of rumors and myths and negative agitation around this case. You probably know that the May 2nd events became the pusher of the Donbass events on the May 2nd was used one of the main argument when people were enrolled to the so-called self-defense formation in Donbass. So when the law enforcement agencies immediately after the incident made very incompetent and loud statements which obviously had shown their non-competence and inability to act professionally. This made a lot of harm. For example, they made statement that there was an unknown gas which was used in the trade union building. Also, they made a statement that there were the indigenous materials which were used. Of course, these statements were at that time they contained a lot of exaggerations. They created rumors and myths, and probably you might know that the rumors about May 2nd they periodically are stirred up by some people, and there's rumors about unknown gas which was used. They reappear and resume now and then. We managed to prove that those statements were not true. Thus, we proved that there were no unknown gas. Thus, we clarified who provoked this event and who initiated it. Unfortunately, we are just 12. Our group comprises just 12 people, and we have to oppose and to repeal this huge wave of Russian propaganda, which is very strongly backed up financially. So it's not difficult just because the law enforcement structure do not prove that the rumors are false, and vice versa, that wrong information periodically sounds from very high rostrums at very high fora, like the UN Security Council. We managed to identify, to re-establish the sequence of events that happened in the downtown of Odessa. And with the assistance of International Renaissance Foundation, which provided us with a very small grant, we managed to produce this colorful presentation, which reflects the major findings of our group, and you may take the booklets at the reception. There you may find the website and address of the presentation presentation in internet link to this presentation. It also shows all the information upon which we based our research. I would be very grateful if you if you draw attention of your subscribers or of your readers to these materials in order to prevent further circulation of this myth initiated by Russia that this was cut-in Odessa, which is absolutely not true, and we have definitely proved this with our verified data. Thank you, Sergij. Thank you, Volodymyr. Please don't forget to mention your name.
Irina Margovich, 1+1 channel. How do you think the investigation may become better, may become more efficient? They are telling that they do not have enough staff to address Maidan case. So this is the first question. And you have told us that there are persons who are outside of attention of the law enforcement borders. Who are them, and are they in Ukraine or outside Ukraine? Staying outside. In the report of consulting group of the Council of Europe, they cited the reasons. The first is that the law enforcement officers' violations are being investigated by the same law enforcement bodies. The second thing is that for 20 months they have not been reporting any information, any news conference of prosecutors or investigation for 20 months. For us to get some information, for me and colleague, we should go to court, and we went to court and we won the court to get any information about the case. There were also the same claims about investigations of them in the Maidan case. There is a department which is independent from law enforcement bodies, and this department should investigate Odessa case as well as Maidan case. But there are only two investigators. We need two more investigators, however, it would not make the investigation enough efficient anyway. We have it would be good if any video footage is enclosed and is studied. As far as I know, no staff is added to that department. There are no prospects, there are no that this investigation would be conducted in a good way. There are violations, so the decision in instances would be that there are violations in this investigation, so there should be some instance established to investigate this case. And we are talking about the head of the emergency service in Odessa region who recognized that it was him who gave the order to the firefighting service not to go to extinguish the fire in the Odessa trade union building, and the result was the mass murder, the mass death of people. When the firefighting service comes after 45 minutes after the start of the fire, this is incredible, but the head of the emergency service in Odessa region, he is saying that this is his victory, that he did not send the crew, the firefighting crew there. The person who was the dispatcher who dispatched the messages, he first was fired, but after that he was renewed on his position. And they said that the General Prosecutor's Office claims are like in kindergarten, that the firefighting service does not conduct any internal investigations inside this body. The contract of the head of the state emergency service in the Odessa region, he has completed his contract, so he is not on his post now. The head of Petro Lutsuk, the head of the Ministry of Interior in Odessa region, there were grave violations in his activities, and the ombudsman established those facts last year. The criminal investigation started in 1 year after the events in Odessa. And there were rumors that this person would have never been punished because he has a lot of links with top officials. And now there are rumors that in this case, the 90% whether there will be any court on this case, it is unknown. Mr. Futaji is the deputy head of the Odessa militia office those days. He is not in the search list in Interpol, on the wanted list in the international police. Nobody wants to bring him to liability, and it does not give any reasons to higher trust into the investigative bodies. Thank you very much. I have one question. We have time for one question only. What is happening with the second May case? Will the other suspects be punished or not? About the prospects, the case on the mass riots, there are no good prospects, and those persons who are incriminated in mass riot organizations, they could be released at the court session, but some persons, 2 or 3 persons indeed, of those who are now been convicted, they will not be released because the new accusations under Article 110 of the Criminal Code of Ukraine in separatism, established against those persons, and so they will be under an arrest. And this article concerns the security service of Ukraine, which the responsibility of the security service of Ukraine. However, this security service had been with closed eyes for 1 year, but now they have to record, to register this case and to investigate it. So 3 persons would not be released. Thank you very much to you. We will be glad to see you again here. Our next